When we're in a crisis, when we have to find a couple of $1 billion to balance the budget, that's billion with a B, and you're doing training on overtime, I said, that's very poor management. And I'm going to do everything I can to stop it.
You saw every one of your trade please.
Let's talk a little bit about what I call the boondoggle. Now people say, Rick, what is a boondoggle? Define that for me. Well, a boondoggle is government waste, a wasteful project paid for by the taxpayers because of political favoritism. And that's exactly what's happening with the new state police headquarters. State police headquarters currently is over at MSU, Michigan State University on Harrison Road. We lease the building for $1 a year. Yep, believe it or not, $1 a year. Now we can stay there for the next 20 years. The next 20 years we can stay there. Well, the roof started leaking. Could be fixed. Well, a large political donor went to the governor and said, I got a great idea. I'm going to build you a new state police headquarters downtown Lansing. Well, of course, when you build a new state building, you're supposed to have competitive bidding. But they had a little scheme to get around competitive bidding. It's called a lease. So this millionaire is building a brand new building downtown Lansing, wants to lease it back to us, the taxpayers, at great profit. For the next 25 years. Millions and millions of dollars wasted.
Republican legislature.
Well, how did this happen? How did this happen? They have a small capital outlay committee that consists of a handful of senators and state reps and the governor, and they gathered together and they voted to do this. Now, the wool was pulled over their eyes. They were told the building is falling down around the ears of the state police. Well, I called over there to some MSU officials, and they said, that's a beautiful building. We can't wait for the state police to leave. We've got about 6 different ideas for it. We might even put our own university police in that building. It's a beautiful building. We've got a lot of buildings at Michigan State that are a lot older than that. So for $1 million, we could fix this. We're going to go line the pockets of developers, and both sides of the aisle are at fault in this. I'm not pointing the finger just at the Democrats. They make large political donations to both sides of the aisle. In fact, let me tell you about one of these developers. He came to my office and said, I want to be your friend. I said, well, let's talk about the building. He said, no, first I want you to know I want to be your friend. Then he indicated to me that he gave money to both sides of the aisle. That's how blatant it is. That is how blatant it is. So I'm going to keep fighting the boondoggle. That's what a boondoggle is. We don't need it. Finally, friends, remember, a government that is big enough to do everything you want is big enough to take everything you have. And I think if you track your history books, you find out that was a Democrat that said that. Happy Labor Day.
Well, I gotta believe some of the folks on this side of the room had to like some of that. I don't care who you are. All right, let's get on to something else here. How many vets do we have out here? How many vets do we have? What I would like to do is I would like you to start making your way there before yourself. I'd like you to make your way up here to these steps just for a minute. Just stay right up.
Everybody that was a poet, a writer, or a songwriter of any kind had a reason to write some words down, some thoughts down on a piece of paper, and I was no different than anybody else.
Look at them come! I mean, they're coming from everywhere! I don't have enough stair steps on the Berry County Courthouse lawn. Well, we got a special song that Toby Keith is going to sing for him. These are the people we're going to have come right here.
Recognize when we see you glory flying. There's a lot of men there, so we My daddy served in the army. We lost his right, but he flew a flag out in our yard. Till the day that he died, he wanted my mother, my brother, my sister, and me to grow up and live happy in the land of the free. Now this nation that I love is falling under attack. The mighty cyclones keep flying in from somewhere.
It ain't free, folks. It ain't free. We appreciate these guys more than they'll ever know. I see some tears rolling out there, and I'm talking about that. This ain't right, this ain't left, this ain't conservative, this ain't liberal. This is about the USA. USA, 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 USA.
This big dog will fight when you run his cage. You'll be sorry that you mess with the US of A. 'Cause we'll put a boot in your ass.
Did I mention this was a lot of fun? Joe, you were right. Thanks to all our service men and women up here. I appreciate that. Where this all is going, so I thought, what can we do here today to try and figure this out and talk to a real person? So we're going to try and do that right now. Connections going to Canada is not working right now. Hold on. Oh, Pat? All right, I got you. Folks, this is Pat Bergson. He lives in Swan, wherever, Manitoba, Canada. Pat, can you hear me?
Yeah, let me get about half mile up the road here, and then I'll be able to hear you.
All right, I'll keep talking, Pat. You keep driving your combine. Pat's out farming on the plains of Manitoba today, and so I just double-checked to make sure I could get him on the horn here this morning. And he said he might have a little trouble getting me. Let me tell you a little bit about my relationship with Pat. I've known him for about 9 years. I went up to the Duck Mountains in Manitoba, Canada, near Roblin, bear hunting for the last several years, right up until my job became a hobby, and my hobby became no more, because I had no money to go up there with, which is why we're here today. But anyways, in my travels up there, I've talked to him off and on about his health care. And Pat, can you hear me?
Yeah, not too bad.
Okay. Pat, if I ask you any specific questions about your health care plan, do you have any clue what we're going to talk about here today, or is this just totally off the cuff?
You know, I'm not really good. I've been talking about the hill here about a quarter mile. If you can just hold on about 30 seconds.
Okay, I'll just keep talking about you. Let me answer the question for him. I have not asked him any